Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. This was the first book I read this June. I read Shatter Me in November I think, and I did enjoy it, but I wasn't a huge fan. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. And to be honest, Unravel Me was a huge improvement. I think I'd give this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think there was a lot of character development, which is what everyone agrees is the main good thing about this book. If you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you've read Shatter Me, so there will be spoilers for Shatter Me, but I'm not going to spoil this book. Just to recap on Shatter Me, basically it's a girl called Juliet who has a lethal touch. If she touches anyone, she causes them incredible pain, and if she touches them too long, she kills them. And she is in sort of just locked away in a mental asylum because her parents couldn't deal with her, and she accidentally killed a child trying to help him. And this causes her a lot of problems. She's very mixed up from it all. And then there's a soldier called Warner who wants to use her as a weapon. He makes her torture people. She falls in love with Adam, who can touch her. And at the end of that book, they escape from Warner, and they are part of the group of people called Omega Point, who are all people with powers, and they're like an underground organisation. And it was sort of the end of Shatter Me where I started to like this series and think I might continue with it, because it was very much like X-Men, which I really liked. I liked the whole sort of group of people with powers. I thought that was really cool. So I think that's why I like this book a lot more, because it was basically all set in Omega Point, and you got to know about the leader Castle and a lot more about Kenji, who I wasn't a massive fan of in the first book, but he really flourishes in this story. He has a lot of character development as well. You hear about his childhood and also why he's so important in Omega Point, which I really liked. So this book basically just starts off where Shatter Me left off, where Juliet and Adam are in Omega Point and they're trying to sort of figure out how best to use their powers. And pretty close to the start of the book you find out that Adam actually isn't immune to Juliet's touch. It's just that he, as a defence mechanism, repels people's powers. So when he's very relaxed around her, his defences aren't up, and then she can actually hurt him, which obviously causes a lot of grief. But the main bit about this book that I really liked, which you might have already heard on BookTube, is the character of Warner, because I hated him in the first book. He was a complete psychopath, but somehow with quite good writing style and sort of planning, Tahereh Mafi manages to turn that around, and you really view him in a different way, just finding out more about his life and the conversations that Juliet and Warner have. And I don't think I'm quite like in love with Warner like lots of people are, but I can just really see why people appreciate the character development so much in this book, because it is really good. Saying that, Tahereh Mafi's style did bother me at some points. I really like the striked through thoughts that's like on the cover, because I think that's a really clever sort of showing when Juliet's lying to herself and her mental instability, which does go away with this book towards the end. Like there's a lot less of the strike throughs and the sort of repetitive thoughts she has as she's sort of becoming a much stronger person. So I really enjoyed the writing style in sort of the middle of this book, but the start and end, I actually laughed at the ending. Not because of what happened, just the writing style. It sounded so immature and silly. There was just too many metaphors, and just the way things were phrased were really just sort of sounded really silly and just, I know, young. Could have just used much better words and placement of others, and in the ending it just, I mean, when I first read the book and it was like, the world was sunny side up today, I was just like, oh god, I don't think I should have carried on with this series. And then at the end, she's just being very dramatic about like, I can conquer nature, I'm gonna take my gloves off, and it's just all, it's just too much. I feel like Tahereh Mafi struggles to start and end books. I don't know if that's a problem that she has in her writing process, but that's what it felt like to me, because they were definitely the weakest parts of the book. But the middle bit was really good, and I'm actually really excited to carry on with this series. I really want to read Ignite Me, the final book, and I might even pick up the novellas called Destroy Me, which is Warner's, some in Warner's perspective and some in Adam's, because I'd be interested to see if Tahereh Mafi can adapt the writing style for those two characters, because if she does it in the same way, I think that would show some weakness. But if she can change Juliet's style of sort of being a bit, you know, mentally unstable, and if she can adapt that to sort of their more stronger personalities, I'd really like to see that. Overall, there was a lot of twists and turns in this book, and I would definitely say if you weren't 100% sure on Shatter Me, to try this book out and just see what you think, because I personally think this is a great improvement in a series, and I really hope Ignite Me carries on going up and doesn't dip, because I'm worried that she could make the last book really cliche and kind of silly and dramatic, but hopefully it carries on in this upward rise. So if you like Shatter Me, I would definitely pick this up. And I'm definitely interested to see where this story goes and how it ends. Let me know down below if you've read this book or any others in the series and what you thought of them. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye!